Yes, it could have been done earlier, but I think they asked for those, they sent that resolution asking those questions because I think they want to come out with a decision before the 29th, before July 29th. That should be the case.
So you think a decision will be made before July 28 or July 29?
For me, it's most likely.
All right.
Enzo Recto, kalaban ang katiwalian at kasinungalingan, kakampi sa katotohanan at kabutihan.
Supreme Court has ordered Congress to submit detailed information on the impeachment proceedings against Vice President Sara Duterte. This amid several petitions calling for the dismissal of the case. Could the High Court's directive delay the impeachment trial once more? Let's get on point with retired Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio. Justice Carpio, good to see you again. Thank you so much for your time. So let me start with this. It was a resolution last July 8 wherein the Supreme Court had actually ordered the House or Congress to file under oath information or even details in relation to the petitions filed by the camp of Vice President Sara Duterte in relation to the impeachment case that was filed against her. From my understanding, the petitions, there are two petitions filed by the camp of the Vice President, which the Supreme Court consolidated. What I want to find out, I guess, just to start this off, is an overview of two things, Justice. I hope you don't mind. I want to talk about the timing of this resolution last July 8, or a little over 2 weeks before the 20th Congress begins. The two petitions that were filed by the Vice President, just for context, were filed last February. 5 months later, the Supreme Court says, I need more information from the House of Representatives regarding this impeachment case. What do you say about the timing of this, considering that in 2 weeks or more, mag-uumpisa na po yung 20th Congress?
Well, I think my sense here is that when the petitions were filed, as you said, in February, the thinking then was that because of what the House Secretary General told everybody, that he was asked to delay, and that everybody thought that the 10 session day period had lapsed. And I think, but when the House submitted its reply to Sara's answer before the impeachment court, it turned out that the 10 session day period was not breached. That on the 10th session day, the fourth complaint, which had the signature of more than a third of the members of the House, was submitted to the Secretary General, and I think that was not in the records of the court. That's why they asked for that. That because that was something new, and it was reported in the papers. So they asked for that because they could not decide the case unless that is settled. Because here is now the House telling the impeachment court that the 10 session day period was not breached. But I think that information was not in the Supreme Court. That's why they asked for it. Mm-hmm. That's my reading.
But that's among other things that they asked,
yes.
Justice. No, but I want to go to that a little later on. But I want to go back to my question. It's the timing, because you've been there, and I guess the point is, July 28 is the State of the Nation address of the President. July 29, it is expected that the impeachment trial will begin, or, Justice, that it will be questioned by some senators, that the 20th Congress might not have jurisdiction. So it can actually begin, or it can actually be dismissed. I mean, I think those are the two things that might happen on July 29. So I'm just curious about the timing. Why ask the House now? Couldn't it have been done much earlier so that there could be some sort of decision, possibly, regarding this?
Yes, it could have been done earlier, but I think they asked for those, they sent that resolution asking those questions because I think they want to come out with a decision before the 29th, before July 29th. And,
That's what I wanted to find out. Is that what you think? Is that because
yes, because
possibly?
otherwise the Senate as an impeachment court will have to decide whether to proceed or not.
Right.
Out of deference to the Supreme Court, that the issue is there with the Supreme Court. So I think there's urgency for the court to act on it, so the impeachment court can be properly guided. I mean, that should be the case.
So you think a decision will be made before July 28 or July 29?
For me, it's most likely.
All right. Why? Again, because just to go back, the resolution was received by the House July 8, and they were supposed to answer within 10 non-extendable days, which would probably be July 18.
Yeah.
And then from that time on, you are presupposing that there will be a decision thereafter before Congress begins the 20th Congress.
Yes. I think the court or whoever is the ponente might be ready with the decision, but then this came out that the 10 session day period was not breached per the House, per the reply of the House. So they want to get confirmation what exactly happened.
Yeah.
Was it breached or not?
Yeah. Was it violated?
Yes.
Or was it not violated? All right. It's okay. Let's do this. The second part that I wanted to ask is that some were saying that there were too many details that the Supreme Court had asked the House to actually respond to the point that I think it was an interview on radio by Congresswoman Laila De Lima, where she actually said that there could have been a judicial overreach. That's what I want to understand. Justice, were there too many questions that were asked by the Supreme Court to the House? Or is the Supreme Court well within its right, its responsibility to ask these questions?
Well, let's focus on one particular question where the Supreme Court said or asked that did those who signed the resolution, did they peruse the resolution? Did they peruse the charges? Did they peruse the charges and the evidence before signing? Well, we never ask the Supreme Court, whenever they come out with a decision resolution, whether those who signed the decision resolution perused the charges and went over the evidence. I mean, that's conceded. If you sign it, that means you have studied it.
So you don't agree that they asked that?
Yes, I think I would agree it's an overreach. Because what's the point?
Okay.
They already they signed and it's verified because there's a verification at the end that they read it and the allegations are true of their own personal knowledge or based on authentic records. Mm-hmm. I mean, you state that under oath. That should be enough already.
Even if, for the sake of argument, they didn't, for example, sir?
Well, there is such a thing as conclusive presumption because if you go into that, then we will never, you will have to ask every congressman who signed the bill whether, did you really read the bill? I mean, there is such a thing as an enrolled bill. Mm. The enrolled bill doctrine, once it's certified by the Senate President and the Secretary of the Senate and the Speaker of the House and the Secretary of the House, that's conclusive. I mean, you have to take it for what it says there.
Mm. Take it at face value.
Yeah, you take it at face value.
Yeah.
You can only question it if there is a breach of the Constitution. Like, you count the number of votes, kulang. I mean, if the Constitution says it requires 2/3 vote and you did not reach the 2/3 vote, you can question. Mm-hmm. But you cannot question those who signed. Did you read it? Did you understand what you were signing? I mean, that is supposed to be conclusively understood already by those who signed. We don't ask, for example, the president if he signs executive order. Mr. President, did you read that before you signed it? Did you understand it? No, that's a public document.
But if that is your position rather, Justice Carpio, why do you think this was asked?
I really don't know. I hope they will not, whatever is the answer, they should just take full faith, give full faith and credit to the document itself, that they signed it, they verified under oath that they read it, that it's that the allegations there are true of their personal knowledge or based on authentic documents. They should take it at face value because that's an official record.
Do you think that if you say that, then I am one to believe that you would say that the senators or the senator judges also will not have the right to ask the congressman who signed this impeachment complaint if they really read it, if they perused through it, and if they knew exactly what they were reading?
Yes, they shouldn't ask that anymore. If there are defects, like for example, was there really at least a third of the members of the House, they can question those things. Was it really filed on the 10th session day? They can question those things. But to question the members of the House, did you read what you signed? I mean, I think that's I would agree it's overreach.
All right. So it's about 3 pages, this resolution coming from the Supreme Court. Let's look into some of those, although we did discuss some of them already. I want to go to letter D. Let's put that up on air. Basically, it says, kasi yung pong sinabi ng Korte Suprema dito, merong A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. These were the contents, no, Justice. So let me go to letter D. As to the complaints filed by the private citizens, the basis and authority of the Secretary General to refuse the transmittal of the complaints for impeachment to the Speaker of the House of Representatives for inclusion in the order of business within 10 session days from the time it was properly endorsed by a member of the House of Representatives. Just to recall, this was what you were talking about a while ago. And also, for purposes of clarity, this is part of the 1987 Constitution, wherein once an impeachment complaint is filed, it must be included in the order of business within 10 session days. Dito po nanggagaling yung letter D ng Supreme Court.
Well, what is in the Constitution is that the impeachment complaint must be included in the order of business within 10 session days. It does not, the Constitution that doesn't mention that the Secretary General must submit it immediately to the Speaker. So that's in the House rules, but that's not in the Constitution. So the Constitution is concerned whether the impeachment complaint was included in the order of business within 10 session days.
Right.
And per the reply of the House to the Senate, to the answer of VP Sara, they said yes, it was included in the order of business within the 10th session day. Yeah. And on the 10th session day, the resolution by at least a third of the members of the House was also submitted to the Secretary General. And under another provision of the Constitution, if a third of the member, at least a third of the members of the House adopt a resolution, that resolution becomes the articles of impeachment and will be transmitted
to the
Senate, and the Senate shall forthwith proceed with the trial.
Yeah.
So, and that's exactly what happened. On the 10th day, at least a third of the members of the House adopted that resolution. So that resolution supersedes the first 3 impeachment complaints because it's within the 10 session days. And that becomes now, the Constitution says, and shall constitute the articles of impeachment. So that is now the articles of impeachment that will be transmitted to the Senate, and the Senate, after receiving it, shall conduct its trial forthwith.
Yeah. Another question on the forthwith.
Yeah, which, that's still pending in the Supreme Court.
Which I'll get to that also later. Here.
bunyog, bunyog. Halikan na kasama ka, bunyog. Kapag buklod ay may pag-asa, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, isa ang pananaw. Sa bagong Pilipinas ang bunyog isisigaw. Bunyog.